Drew McIntyre just got screwed in the most disrespectful way possible, and I'm about to tell you why this isn't just bad booking, it's a slap in the face to everyone who's been following his journey. Jacob Fatu, a man who has no business being anywhere near Drew's title picture, just walked out on Smackdown and demolished everything Drew has worked for. And if you think this was justified, if you think this makes any sense whatsoever, then you're part of the problem with wrestling today. But before I break down exactly why this attack is the most infuriating thing WWE has done in months, smash that subscribe button and demolish that notification bell, because Ring Rumble 1 is the only place where we're going to tell you the truth that nobody else has the guts to say. We don't sugarcoat. We don't kiss up to creative. We tell it like it is. Now let's get into this absolute trainwreck. Let me paint you the picture of what went down on SmackDown, because even if you watched it, you probably couldn't believe what you were seeing. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, the man who carried this company through the pandemic era, the man who has clawed and scraped his way back to title contention after being disrespected time and time again, was finally about to get his moment. He was this close to reclaiming what should have been his all along. The match was brutal. It was physical. It was everything a championship match should be. Drew was showing the world exactly why he deserves to be at the top of the card. Every claymore was thunderous. Every suplex shook the ring. This wasn't just a match, it was a statement. Drew McIntyre was about to remind everyone why he's one of the most dominant forces in WWE history. And then Jacob Fatu's music hit. Now, let me be crystal clear about something. Jacob Fatu is talented. Nobody's denying that. The man can move like someone half his size and hit like a freight train. But here's the problem, what on earth does Jacob Fatu have to do with Drew McIntyre? What's the story? What's the connection? What's the reason? There isn't one. And that's why this is so infuriating. WWE just threw Jacob Fatu into this situation like they were tossing a random action figure into a toy box. No build-up. No explanation. No logic. Just, hey, Jacob Fatu's here now, and he's going to ruin Drew McIntyre's night because, reasons. This is exactly the kind of lazy, nonsensical booking that makes fans turn off their TVs and cancel their subscriptions. When Jacob Fatu came charging down that ramp, you could see it in Drew's eyes. Confusion, anger, the realization that he was about to get screwed again. And what did Fatu do? He hit Drew with a superkick that could have decapitated him, followed by a moonsault that nearly broke the ring. Drew was laid out. The referee was confused. And just like that, everything fell apart. The champion, and I'm not even going to dignify them by saying their name right now because they don't deserve it, retained the title not because they were better than Drew McIntyre, but because Jacob Fatu decided to stick his nose where it absolutely didn't belong. Drew didn't lose that match. He was robbed. There's a massive difference, and WWE needs to understand that. You want to know what makes this even worse? Drew McIntyre has been one of the most consistent performers in WWE for years. This is a man who never complains. He never goes to social media whining about his position. He shows up, does his job, and puts on 5-star performances night after night. And what does he get for his loyalty? He gets attacked by someone he's never even had a storyline with. Think about the psychology of this for a second. In wrestling, everything is supposed to mean something. Every attack should have motivation. Every interference should have a purpose. When Stone Cold Steve Austin cost someone a match, you knew why. When The Rock got involved in someone's business, there was history there. Hey, wake up. How many times have we been burned by WWE starting something that looks promising only to abandon it 3 weeks later? How many times have we seen random attacks lead to absolutely nothing? Remember when everyone thought Bray Wyatt attacking Roman Reigns would lead to something epic? Remember when people thought Braun Strowman turning on someone would create a massive storyline? WWE has a terrible track record of following through on these random attacks, and I have zero faith that this will be any different. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that WWE actually has a plan here. Let's say there's a reason Jacob Fatu attacked Drew McIntyre. Even if that's true, even if next week they reveal some grand conspiracy or shocking connection, it doesn't excuse how they did this. You don't build intrigue by creating confusion. You build intrigue by planting seeds, by leaving breadcrumbs, by making fans want to know more. Instead, what we got was the equivalent of someone flipping over the chessboard in the middle of a game. It's not clever. It's not sophisticated. It's just frustrating. And can we talk about what this does to Drew McIntyre as a character? This man has been portrayed as one of the most dangerous, intelligent, and battle-hardened competitors in WWE. He's supposed to be a warrior who can handle anything thrown at him. But now, for the second time in recent memory, he's been blindsided and made to look vulnerable in the worst possible moment. How many times can you do this to a top-tier talent before fans stop taking them seriously? Drew McIntyre should be untouchable right now. He should be positioned as the biggest threat to whoever holds that championship. Instead, he's being used as a prop to make Jacob Fatu look dominant, and that's backwards. You don't sacrifice your established stars to build new ones, you elevate new stars by having them compete with established ones in meaningful ways. Here's another thing that's eating at me, the timing of this attack. Drew was literally seconds away from winning. The 3 count was about to happen. The title change was imminent. And that's when Fatu struck. Do you know what message that sends? It tells the audience that Drew McIntyre can't win the big one on his own. It tells them that he needs to be protected from success. It tells them that WWE doesn't have confidence in him as champion. Whether WWE intended that message or not, that's what's being communicated. And for a performer of Drew's caliber, that's absolutely unacceptable. Let's also consider the bigger picture of SmackDown's championship scene. Right now, it's a mess. You've got multiple contenders, multiple storylines intersecting with no clear direction, and now you've thrown Jacob Fatu into the mix without any explanation. How is a casual fan supposed to follow this? How is someone who tunes in once a month supposed to understand what's happening and why they should care? Good wrestling storytelling is simple at its core. Person A wants something. Person B also wants that thing or wants to stop Person A from getting it. They fight. Someone wins. Someone loses. The story continues based on that result. What we have now is, Person A wants something. Person B also wants it. Person C randomly shows up and attacks Person A for no explained reason. Person B wins by default. Better. This man has given you everything. He's been a loyal soldier through thick and thin. He's reinvented himself multiple times. He's gotten himself over despite questionable booking. The least you can do is give him a coherent storyline that treats him with the respect he's earned. I'm genuinely angry about this because I care about Drew McIntyre. I care about good wrestling storytelling. I care about fans getting their money's worth. And what happened on SmackDown was none of those things. It was a shortcut. It was lazy. It was creative bankruptcy dressed up as a shocking moment. The worst part, this could have been incredible. Imagine if WWE had spent the last month dropping hints that Jacob Fatu was being recruited by someone. Imagine if there were mysterious backstage segments. Imagine if Drew had a reason to suspect something was coming but couldn't figure out what. Then, when Fatu attacked, it would have been the payoff to a story, not the random beginning of one. But instead, we get shock for shock's sake. We get swerves that serve no purpose. We get talented performers being wasted in angles that go nowhere. And we're supposed to just accept it and say, thank you, for the privilege of being confused. So where do we go from here? Honestly, I have no idea, and I don't think WWE does either. Maybe next week Drew gets his revenge. Maybe Jacob Fatu cuts a promo explaining himself. Maybe this whole thing gets dropped and we never hear about it again. With Wee's track record, literally any of those outcomes is possible. What I do know is this, Drew McIntyre deserves better. The fans deserve better. And wrestling as an art form deserves better than what we witnessed on SmackDown. This attack wasn't just a cheap shot, it was a betrayal of everything that makes professional wrestling compelling. And if WWE doesn't course correct immediately, they're going to lose the fans who actually care about stories, logic, and respect for the performers who give everything for this industry. Ring Rumble 1 will be here every single week calling this stuff out, because somebody has to. Now drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this attack was justified, or is WWE completely out of touch? And don't forget to share this video with everyone who's as frustrated as you are, because this conversation needs to be loud.